was born in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the youngest of 3 children. When I was 6 months old, we moved to Mobile, Alabama. My life is a lot about place, as I was so influenced by all the different places we lived. We moved back to Tulsa when I was 5, and I was very theatrical. I wanted to be an actress when I grew up. I was always putting on plays in the backyard and starring and directing, and even when we moved to California when I was 8, I was putting on circuses and carnivals. And once again, we moved to Salem, Oregon when I was 13, where I graduated from high school. One of the people that was a real role model in my life was a woman named Eunice that was a camp counselor and an artist at a camp that I attended in Northern California when I was 15. When I was 18, I moved back to Southern California after being an exchange student in Mexico. I learned so much from Mexico in experiencing different ways of living. When I got home, I studied jewelry making for a while and made a ring for my father, among many others. I worked also for a while with some Indian jewelry importers. During this time, I was in and out of school. I did go to Oregon State University. I was an art major. I quit when I was a senior because I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I moved back to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I met my first husband. We got married and moved to Sausalito, California. Lived on a houseboat for a couple of years and had a lot of fun. And I actually rekindled my interest in being an actress and took acting lessons in San Francisco, had professional pictures taken, and then oops, life had different plans for me, and we moved back to Tulsa where I had my first son, Julian, and changed my life forever in the most wonderful way. We moved back to Oregon when he was a child, and I finally went back to school and got my Bachelor of Fine Arts from Oregon State when Julian was 3. And 6 years later, I did it again. I was pregnant with my second son, Jesse, and Julian was a proud big brother. I decided at that point that I really wanted to do something with my art degree, and so I went back to school again with another child, which was a completely different experience for somebody with a young child at home. That was often very entertaining and distracting, but I did make it through and got my master's in teaching from Lewis and Clark College, and my family was very proud of me. I became a middle school and high school teacher my first year, and then just high school. This was my first job at junior high in Vancouver, Washington. At the same time, I was also working at Lake Oswego High School, where I worked for 6 years. It was the most rewarding job I'd ever had. It was a challenge with a family and a principal that kind of ruled by intimidation. I did take a group of high school students on a European art tour, which was another highlight in my life. And shortly after, we said goodbye to Oregon and moved to Florida, which was such a huge change, and I missed my family terribly. But my husband said if we moved here, I could go back and get my MFA. So I did, and I graduated in 2003, and shortly thereafter separated from my first husband. But my kids were growing up fast. My baby was getting ready to start middle school. My older son, Julian, was almost a senior in high school, at which time he decided he wanted to join the Marines, which I was not excited about, but after boot camp he married his high school sweetheart and went off to war. He was there for one deployment, came home, and left again, and the second time he didn't come home. His death changed my life, my world, completely, and so I returned to my art as a way to express the loss, and I began to think about how I could use art to try to help heal the world and heal veterans, people that have been affected by war, with community events and Peace Crane, and with the veterans at FSU. In the meantime, my son, my baby, is growing up, and time marches on, as they say. And so once again, I find myself back in school, this time to become an art therapist, and I feel like I found the love of my life and the purpose of my life. And for the future, my dream is to move back to Northern California and to be an art therapist and to continue to follow my heart and see where life takes me.